Nah,
Say something, Lashae.
Something?
Okay.
Okay.
I fuck with all of it. Nah, I fuck with all of it. Where I draw the line is, I'm not coming down on goddamn love and happiness, nigga. Y'all
Bumping Lakeside.
Y'all gonna hear low rider.
Oh shit! Not George Lopez. You know that nigga is sticking to the fact that he Puerto Rico.
Y'all ready to get Shauna? You got before we start. You can turn the A on.
I do. It's on like 65.
It really is. I've seen them. I didn't watch her turn it down like 3 times.
I don't know what's going on.
I watched her turn it down like 3
We
times.
old, nigga.
All right.
You right?
I hope I ain't having a hot flash.
I might be because I'm sliding on this chair. I forgot I got these low ass shorts on.
All right, Calvin, your wife in here with these get a girl sexy shorts on.
I'm gonna get us all the free drinks, Calvin.
Yeah, man.
Talk about that big bottle of Johnny Walker Black.
Giving her the vapors.
Are y'all ready to get started?
I must declare.
I think that's enough of a sound check. Y'all ready to get started?
Sure.
Yes.
You ready, Shauna? Stupid. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Welcome to this week's episode of Wine and Audacity, the podcast. I am your host, Brandon Sicard, and I'm joined by these niggas. How y'all feeling this week?
Still working on it, but it's cool.
Feeling good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
And eating chicken? You got
Yeah.
chicken eating titties, by the way.
Jay's gotta eat too.
Right.
Put a breast on a breast.
You know what? It is too hot for this. So, you heard a fourth was this week, and we have a special guest in the room. Say hello to Shauna's cousin, Lashae, who is joining us this week. How you feeling, Lashae?
Hi, I'm feeling good.
That's my boo.
Yes.
Welcome. You excited for your first time on the podcast?
Yes, I'm excited to be here. I'm glad y'all asked me to come.
It's a good conversation. Hoping we have a real good conversation today. So, what's been going on, y'all?
Shit.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot as fuck.
It's hot. I got the air on me. About to put an ice cube in the middle of this fucking table. I don't know what's going on. We ain't even started really drinking
Not
yet.
an ice cube.
Ice cube.
Just
a
one.
big ass one.
Jesus. How you feeling, Aaron?
I'm cool. You know, just teaching, learning new shit about children. But, you know.
That's
Got on
good.
his Sunday best. Sharp.
He's shot.
I'm going down there.
Sharp as a tack.
He's shot. Shot. Shot with a tap.
Hide your grannies.
Not the granny shit.
You better. Your wife would hit you with a car. Don't say nothing.
I ain't seen shit. I love Minnie.
Did y'all see Annabelle with Janelle Monáe that came out a couple years ago? Mm-hmm. That was a good movie.
That movie was crazy.
that-
as shit.
That twist at the end.
Yeah, that was a
It
mind.
reminded me of a
That was a mind fuck for real.
novel by Octavia Butler called Kendrick. I think that was the name of it. They ended up making a show about it. I
Yeah.
never got to watch it, but they canceled it.
Oh my
I heard
gosh,
they canceled
of
it.
course they always cancel stuff like that. That
Wait.
was so
But I read the
good.
book years ago. That
Was that
book,
the,
that's when I first got
was
into
that the shit on,
science
FX?
fiction and
Yeah.
shit. Oh my god,
Yeah, and they put it on
amazing.
Hulu.
Yeah, that was the shit on FX
I'm
when
gonna go
Shorty
back and
went
watch
back
it
in
because I
time.
never got
It
the
was
opportunity
so
to watch
good,
the show.
yeah.
Because I'll be nervous when they make books into like movies and shows.
No,
They
it
usually
was
fuck
good.
them up like they just did with Be More Careful. Fucked it up.
I think the
And-
thing
and
with
Tears of the
Annabelle
Gang.
was it should have been. Well, yeah,
Really
but I
fucked
think
that
the thing
up.
with Annabelle is it would have been good as like a limited series, like a
I
mini
agree.
series, like maybe 8 to 10 episodes to flesh it out.
Yeah.
Because doing it over a couple of hours, it was a good movie. But it was kind of like, damn, this was rushed.
Right, they was
Janelle
trying
Monáe
to
played
pack
the fuck up.
everything.
Oh, she did.
I have a girl crush on Janelle Monáe. She fire as fuck. I love her.
Me too.
And Queen Latifah.
Well, you know,
And Michelle Obama. And the Brett.
I told Peter I was like,
Queen might take you down.
I
She
told,
might.
no, I told,
All right,
Queen might
listen,
take you down.
I'm sorry, Judy. I love you, but if it don't work out between y'all, baby, I'll be a good stepmama here.
Dana don't play no game.
I love me some Shantae, honey. I love her. I love
Shantae
her. I love
Williams?
that show. Yeah, that show is so cute. No, you know, Brett real name is Shantae.
Her name is Shantae in real life.
Shantae Harris. The Brett.
Oh, the Brett. Yeah. I'm like, who? Yeah.
I'm mad. I missed
Congratulations
the
to
show.
them for that baby they had last month.
I know.
Oh my God, he is so damn cute.
I love them two together.
Yeah.
I called
me too.
baby fever. I went and took me 2 birth control pills because no, ma'am.
Bitch, girl, please.
Hold on,
Shauna. Doubled up, bitch.
Shauna, you having more late night guests?
Huh?
You can hug your head, nigga.
No, not lately. I ain't even getting enough for my birthday. I was distressed.
not distraught, bro.
Did you tell Lashae what happened?
Nope.
You ain't tell me what
I'm
happened.
gonna tell you, but since you sipping. So she had a little late night guest a few months ago, and Trey must have felt a disturbance in the force. So Trey woke up. This was like 3 a.m. She said Trey woke up.
It
Was
wasn't late.
like
It was like 12.
Trey would have been long sleep by then.
Right.
And Trey popped up. So they was trying to creep up the steps. And Trey popped around the corner like,
What you doing?
hey, how you doing?
Listen, hi, Ma. I say, hi, Trey. What you doing up? I gotta pee.
And he looked around Shauna like, how you doing? I'm Trey.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
I eat a man out. You're not about to
I
play.
ain't no glasses on and I said, damn. Trying to get my back cracked and see for Jesus.
No, he had no glasses on.
He had glasses
No,
on. That
I'm gonna
nigga-
tell you, no,
He was
look.
like, that smell is remember in Boys in the Hood when the grandmother came in and was like,
Right.
Smells like.
I said, so much for that.
Y'all, let's get into this damn topic. Shit. So, jokes are always good, but let's get into this topic, y'all. So, I found an article on parents.com entitled Black Millennial Parents Are Leaving a Legacy of Generational Health by where authors Kelly Glass, Celeste Little, and A. Roshan Meadows Fernandez discuss ways in which Black millennial parents end cycles and usher in a new era of parenting marked by personal growth and generational healing. And from the article, or part of the article states, it's been a long time since grade school for Omar Sr., a 34-year-old Westchester, New York-based program manager for a tech company, but his father's reaction over a homework assignment still makes him uneasy. If I didn't understand something with work, my dad would get very frustrated with me and would yell, and I would cry. I was a real sensitive kid growing up, and it never made me
Johnny
feel...
has 2 apples.
No, you gotta say it. If Johnny has 2 motherfucking apples...
And he gave away 1. How many fucking apples does Johnny have?
6.
4 motherfuckers.
I can relate to that. That's how my father used to be. And my children always like, what's the point of yelling? Like, it's not gonna make us understand. And when you think about it, it's not. Like, right.
I hate smart ass kids. God ain't couldn't give me a dumb ass kid. No.
I was very sensitive. I was a very sensitive kid growing up, and it never made me feel too confident to ask questions, says Senior. I felt on my own a lot. Even in my adult life, there's still some lingering sentiments of that. I do feel difficulty asking questions. Still, he understands that his parents were just trying to break cycles too. They were young when they became parents and immigrated from Jamaica, where Senior points to strain familiar relationships. Fear-based parenting was commonplace there because there was a lot to fear. You beat your kids so that the police don't do it for you, says Senior. Okay. That's something I grew up with, and I know my father used to get beatings all the time. This is a prime example of intergenerational trauma. Mm-hmm. And intergenerational trauma is a cycle of trauma exposure passed from one generation to the next, where the initial... let me restart that. This is a prime example of intergenerational trauma. And the definition is, intergenerational trauma is a cycle of trauma exposure passed from the generation who initially experienced the traumatic event to their descendants many generations later, says Paul Archibald, assistant professor of social work at the College of Staten Island, City University of New York. It can manifest as emotional distress, avoidance, overly negative thoughts, engaging in risky behaviors, and trouble sleeping, and a host of other poor mental health outcomes. Mm-hmm. It can affect those who have never experienced the traumatic event. Hence, the children and descendants exhibit signs and symptoms of trauma. Intergenerational trauma produces long-term distress among communities. This goes way beyond our current discussions of adverse childhood experiences. People must come to grips with the reality that individuals are also exposed to adverse community experiences and adverse cultural experiences that span several generations. So, with that, y'all ready to get into this question?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So, Lashae, since you the guest, I'll let you go first. And I should have led with this before we started recording, but answer the questions to whatever your comfort level is.
Real. I'm going to answer all of them.
Okay. Well, question 1.
I'm going to use, because we own my girls.
Right. So growing up, what kinds of intergenerational trauma do you feel that you experienced?
Just like what he was saying with homework.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go through that with my father. Mm-hmm. Like, if you didn't understand or get something right, even with my mother. I could remember when we was younger and living in Walden Circle. I could always remember getting yelled at if you don't know something. Yep. Or, if you don't understand something. Like, and I don't understand that. And I used to do that with my children. But then I realized, like, how that made me feel. Mm-hmm. And like my daughter said, like, what's the point of yelling? Because it's still not going to make you understand.
Because you're just saying the same thing, just
exactly louder. And you still not going to understand. So, yeah, that was one of them. I can understand that.
I had to learn that with Trey.
And then, like, another with beating when it come to beating. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't beat my children. Mm-hmm. My mother used to turn me up. And I used to look at a sense of abuse. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So, I try not to really put my hands on my children like how my mother did.
Okay. Aaron, what about for you? What kind of intergenerational traumas do you feel that you experienced growing up, or just in general?
Great question. I don't necessarily think it was like trauma per se, because for me and I want to say me and my brothers, we don't. I mean, my mother apologizes now. Now in the sense of I apologize because it wasn't, I didn't show you like great, like a good way of communication.
Right.
And the way that she disciplined us, or the way that she talked to us then. And sometimes it did have residual effects because it's sometimes it was kind of hard to talk to her.
Right. And
I can see it, see it from the outside looking in. Like it may have been hard for her to talk to my grandmother, my great grandmother, and the people that were raising her, and the people that were around her. However, now as far as the beating, it's like I'm on the fence about I'm on the fence about it because I believe that sometimes a beating is necessary, but then other times it's pretty much at your discretion.
Right.
One time I got my ass beat, and it was probably like the beating of all beatings, and it was but as a kid, it's I got fucked up,
Right.
But as I got older, I understood what I did.
Right.
Like I sprayed pepper spray in I seen it on my babysitter's keychain, and y'all. So I saw it on.
I sprayed myself in the face with pepper spray when I was like 6.
Goodness.
I was like, "What's this?"
So
I sprayed it on the dresser.
So the shit was, I saw the keychain. I didn't know what the fuck it was. You know what I mean? So I pressed it. I sprayed it on the wall. Just on the wall.
Shit
and
filled
all
the
of a
room,
sudden,
didn't it?
no, nigga, that shit filled the house.
Yeah. That's what I did.
No,
Me and my cousin sitting there snotting and crying with tears running down. My papa said, "What the fuck y'all get?"
My mother and my babysitter was upstairs. They was just talking because my mother came to pick us up. And then everybody started coughing and shit. And it's like, yo, what happened? They trying to figure out what happened. Then I told her that I sprayed it. Now, as a kid, I got my ass beat when I got in the house. And then I was punished. When I came over from school, I had to sit over in the corner. Yep. I couldn't go upstairs. with my homeboy, with her son, play with my little brothers and shit. But as an adult, I understood. I'm understanding why. What I did, I could have fucked everybody's life up.
Right.
But do you think that that's still warranted a beating? Because again, you didn't know any better. If it was something that was like a repeat, something you was doing over and over again, that's one thing. But if it was just the first time,
I didn't know. I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. However, it's looking at it, it's that was probably the least she could have did because I could have fucked her whole life up. License could have got revoked. The baby
just for spraying pepper spray in the house
because she had a weapon and she had she could have gotten in trouble.
That and she also had a baby and she was also babysitting a little kid. So it was something the baby was coughing and shit. She had to leave the doors open for I want to say probably a good 6 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Doors in the windows.
Yeah,
so
if
something would have happened with the baby, she could have got sued. Her license could have got revoked.
Yeah, that's true.
And I really could have fucked everybody
life up in front of all the kids, and the kids being kids, they gonna get into
children
shit.
are carriers,
right?
So they gonna pick up and touch shit.
And then it's I also realized that it wasn't mine. I shouldn't have touched it in the first place.
How old were you?
I was in the 3rd grade.
Okay.
Ooh, baby, we talk about shit we do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
I was cussing by him.
But you get what I'm saying. But you understand, you understand what I'm saying. It's I knew right and wrong. I knew not to touch what wasn't mine.
Yeah.
So it's with me knowing that, but also, like I said, it's I'm on the side of it. I'm on the fence of I feel when it's appropriate. You feel what I'm saying? But I also feel what Lashae said. It's being yelled at don't really do shit.
Right.
Other than it is you just talking, you talking loud.
Got you. All right. So, Shauna, what about for you?
So me and Lashae pretty much grew up in the same household.
Yeah.
The majority of our life. Lashae's mother is actually my cousin, but she's like my sister.
Right.
We 10 years apart.
Right.
So, we grew up in the same household. So it's pretty much the same stuff with us, the yelling with the homework and stuff like that. And I found myself doing the same thing with Trey. And it took me to realize, Trey has, I don't know if I shared this before, but Trey has ADHD. So, when you have ADHD, you learn different.
Right.
At the time, I wasn't he didn't have a actual diagnosis, so I just thought he was being lazy.
Right, he wasn't aware.
All that stuff. So I'm screaming and hollering at him, and he crying and snotting. What the fuck you crying about? I'm getting frustrated. Once we got him diagnosed, and I realized, because I had fucking ADHD, like, I realized that he learns different. I try to be a lot more patient with him now.
Right.
Also, the same thing with shut your ass up. With spankings and stuff like that. Like, I did used to spank Travis, tear them legs up. I promise. Pop his hands, pop him in the back of his neck, all kinds of stuff. When they were younger. Right. Because I would feel like he was intentionally not listening to me or intentionally not doing what I told him to do and stuff like that. In addition to him having an ADHD, he also was diagnosed with ODD. Right. ODD is oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, child, if you ain't never had a younger child, like now that he's a little older, it's not as bad.
Because he can regulate.
Yeah, right. But when he was younger, baby, I used to... If y'all knew how many days I went in my damn room with a bottle of wine and a fucking Newport and closed the door and just like, Lord, what did I do, God? I'm so sorry. Oh, God, I didn't put my mama through this. But I understand him a whole lot more now. And I took the time to educate myself and learn more about that. And I think that's where a lot of the frustration and stuff comes from with parents, because first you're in denial because you don't want to believe your kid. Right. Ain't nothing wrong with your child. You know, ain't nothing wrong with him. He's lazy.
But think about how, like, with our generation, how many people we know that were undiagnosed who now we would know have, like, mental health concerns, ADHD, bipolar disorder, all these things.
They be in denial. Right. They be in denial. That's the worst thing you can do to your fucking child.
But it wasn't.
And then they want to blame it on school. Oh, you ain't teaching them right, or you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that. That shit started at home.
Yes, I don't necessarily think it's denial, though. It's just the fact that back then we didn't necessarily have the tools.
That's true too.
Right.
But in the world that we live in and the generation we grew up in, and now we're raising children, we have so much more information than our parents may have had with us. My mother would have never thought I had no damn ADHD back in the day.
So before that, I should have led with this. So let's start. So some background information for this. Aaron and I don't have children. Aaron, his wife is here. Hey, Keita.
Hey, girl.
She's waving.
Hey.
But I don't have any children. Aaron and Keita, they're married but don't have children. Shauna has one. Trey, my godson.
My baby.
Upstairs.
He be 16.
Good Lord, he old. And Lashae, you have 3?
No, I have 5.
Okay. And what are the ages for yours?
So mine is 14, 13, 11, 10, and 1.
Okay, got you. Okay, so just to lead with that, it's different perspectives in the sense that a married couple with no children, a single man with no children, single woman with no children, and then with one child. I'm sorry, my bad, Trey. Don't strike me down, Lord. You upstairs. And then Lashae is married with 5 children.
Yes.
So okay.
And Lashae also has a blended family.
Yes. So, but we'll get into that. Yes.
Oh, shout out! Congratulations, bitch! We get married and stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, you wasn't here when she got married.
But
Atlanta.
But Shauna, it's funny that you say shit about ODD. It's like, yo, I'm kind of experiencing that now with me teaching. Yeah. Like one of my I
changed my profession because
yo, like one of my kids is like, yo, you watch him and you listen and you see him and he's talking, like you're trying to talk to him. Once he gets upset, he's crying. He's crying, and it's because he's crying, and it's like then you're trying to talk to him.
Because they think they're in trouble and they don't know how to express themselves.
No, he be in trouble.
But that's the issue that I have with Trey.
But no, what I'm saying is he is in trouble. But for me, it's like, yo, I'm trying to get down on your level and I'm trying to talk to you because I know how it was when I was younger and I was getting yelled at. So it's like
you can kind of relate and kind of.
It's like I don't want to like
just still
I don't like being the bad guy. So it's like I don't like being the bad guy. True shit.
Yeah.
I don't like necessarily like yelling and raising my voice. So it's like, yo, when you ready to stop crying, yo, we can talk. But he would sit probably 20, 30 minutes crying. Ugly crying, like lip open, drool coming down and shit. And it's like, yo, you trying, and it's like, yo, but I also watch him when you giving him an instruction. When I'm giving him an instruction, and it's like, yo, he does what he want to do. Or when you talking to him, it's like he try to change the subject, and it's like, yo, nah, we're talking, like. Look at me, stand straight up, like this a young man, like a man talking to a young man, like stand straight up, listen, look at me on face when I'm talking to you, and it's like if he's not doing what he wants to do, he got a problem with it, and I understand, we understand that, like you understand where the problem is coming in because you're stopping them from doing what they want to do, right. And it's fun, like for them, you're stopping them from having fun,
right?
But It is, yo, you like being a teacher trying to manage 20 kids with a co-teacher, and then it's like, yo, each of them have their own personalities.
Of course. Yeah.
Their own personalities, their own disorders. Like, I have a couple kids that's nonverbal, but they high functioning. And when they decide that I'm not doing this shit. I'm gonna run around the classroom.
And you can't punch them in the chest because they're somebody else's kid.
True shit, yo, and true
That's why
shit.
I changed. I used to want to be a teacher when we were growing up. And then as I got older, and then like I said, hell no, because then I grew up with, like I said, me and Shay, we 5 years apart, 6 years apart. You be 30 what? 31, 32 this year. I just turned 37. So me and Shay are 5 years apart.
Yeah.
And then I had Shay, I had Pretty, I had Brian, and the other little cousins or whatever. I was the fun big cousin and played, even though Pretty would tell you Shauna was mean. I was like, I'm not mean. I tried to get some. Okay, first of all, fuck you.
So let me answer the question. Before you go on, let me answer the question. So, like I said, the intergenerational trauma I experienced growing up was learning or being stoic, not outwardly displaying emotion about anything. Mm-hmm. I know that me
Did
internally.
You feel like you couldn't?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because my mother's thing was, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what's important.
Grew up, though.
Yeah, do what I say.
Do what I say, not what I do. But also, it's a thing of how you feel is irrelevant.
Exactly.
You have stuff you need to do. You have stuff that you need to take care of. Take care of your shit.
That's right.
I broke that shit with my son.
And I did with mine.
But then the thing with that is, now as a damn near 37-year-old, and thankfully, again, with therapy, shout out to Mrs. Howard, because we do it every episode.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, hey. I've learned as I've gotten older that the emotional responses or the way you handle things are just as important as the actual physical responses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're one and the same.
Yes.
And the act of separating it is detrimental, because you spend so much time doing that you don't experience the feeling, and that shit sits on you, and it piles on top of each other. And then, prime example, I don't think I ever told you this. This was maybe 7 to 8 years ago. I was in DC. I was out. It was a Sunday fun day. Stuff was happening, but nothing. Yes. Hey, sis. Hold on. How you doing? So
I miss her.
I miss when you too. But so I was out. It was fun. Nothing was going on. And stuff was hard. I was, struggling with stuff. I think it was around the time I learned about my mother's health issues. Mm-hmm. But of course, for me, the thing was, okay, well, we'll figure it out. We'll get through it. We'll deal with it. I try to be strong for her and not really just break down.
Right. Ooh, that amount of pressure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting on 14th Street in DC at a traffic light, and I just started bawling out of nowhere. And I was like, what the fuck?
It'll come out of nowhere. Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the hell?
So there with a glass of wine in Newport, like.
I sent a text message like, yo, I can't, I have to go home. I had tears in my eyes the whole ride home, and I parked in front of my house. I couldn't even get out of my car, and I just my body just crumpled over. Mm-hmm. And that was years of. Wow. I think that was the first time I had cried.
Can't take it no more.
That was the first time.
You don't even realize it a lot of the time. It just be sitting on your shoulder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what the trigger was. Right. I literally, I think that was the first time I had cried.
Once you got it out, how did you feel? Did you feel lighter?
Like a breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
6 years. I think my grandmother passed in 2009. I didn't cry at her funeral. The first time I went to her gravesite was maybe 4 or 5 years later, and I broke down the first time. Mm-hmm. I was like, I literally got out the car and couldn't even go anywhere near where her grave was. Yeah. And that feeling of just having to hold stuff in and be strong for everybody else. Yeah. As men,
that's a black man for you.
Right.
I was just
we don't realize that stuff. Until we release it, we hold on to it, and that stress of trying to be strong for everybody else fucks with us. Yep. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, I have to be strong for everybody else, but I deserve, or I need a release. I need to be able to release all the stuff I'm feeling. Right.
Let me tell you something. Black men, stop holding shit in.
Exactly. Let it go.
No, let it out. And I know sometimes you may not feel comfortable, but you have women like me who will support you. I will rub your back, rub your feet.
That's right.
Baby, it's okay. Rub on my butt. Listen, if you don't get them big ass stompers off my damn leg. But no,
I just got them done, so they nice. They nice and supple.
Previous to us recording this, I just saw a video, and the girl and the guy got to arguing. I don't know what they were arguing about. And she said to him, "That's why your father don't want to deal with you."
Nigga, we just watched that shit. We just watched that shit this morning.
The way I would have backhanded that bitch, I'm sorry, I don't condone violence.
Right.
But babe, you don't, and that's why a lot of people do, and not just black men in particular, but a lot of people don't want to open up because they don't want to give nobody ammunition.
Right.
I don't care what y'all were arguing about. For you at that moment to throw something that he confided in you about in his face.
But
that's why a lot of men don't open up.
I had a man do that to me. A man I was in love with, and I confided in him about the abuse I suffered, about the sexual abuse I suffered. Yeah. And we got into an argument one day, and he threw that shit in my face. Baby, when I tell you his death flashed before my eyes, I saw him dying, I saw me on trial, and I saw me sitting in the cell with a big bitch named Tiny fighting for my virginity. I had to get away from him. My God.
What virginity?
First of all, during my business, don't do that.
I mean, you already...
It wasn't a big bitch, it was a little bitch, but we ain't gonna do that. Okay. But listen...
But let me get to the next question. So again, we'll go with Lashae and then work through everybody forward. So next question. But that was a good conversation.
It was.
Yes,
so,
it was.
Lashae, what things have you noticed that you've passed on to your kids as far as like in terms of like generational trauma or like your responses to things, your reactions to things as they've gotten older now? You have a good range of kids from 14 to 1. What things are you seeing with them, like how they handle things and like?
So one of the things that I still struggle with to this day is cussing. When I get mad, I cuss. But that's how my father was towards me, even my mother.
Yeah.
Yes,
so I'm working on that.
Yeah, nigga, you was a wild one.
You don't leave my baby alone, Jesus. She turned out well.
Don't do that.
I'm not.
She turned out well. She found the Lord.
No,
that's right. Leave my baby alone.
Don't do that. I did find Jesus, and I'm happy I did.
She found the Lord. She is a minister now.
Hallelujah.
Leave my baby alone.
On Thursday, I'll be moved up to being a minister. I've been
Praise
studying
God.
for 2 years.
Hallelujah.
Congratulations.
Won't he will?
To be his minister, to spread that word. And I'm
will.
excited
Amen, saints.
to do that. So,
amen.
Now he just did the whoa. Get Brandon away from me, y'all.
okay, so back what I was saying. So,
Yes.
I'm still working on that. With one of the things that I passed down from my father, my family, right, is when it comes to when I get mad with the cussing. Another thing that we didn't have was communication, just like how you spoke about.
Yeah.
Whatever my mother said, it went.
Yeah.
And with these children now, they're going to tell you how you feel.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had 4 girls, and then just a little baby that I just had, just a boy. So I have teenagers, and they telling me how they feel, and, you know, they speaking up. I didn't have that with my mother.
Oh, yeah. Imagine you talking up to your mother saying, well, I don't like this. I don't give a fuck
what you like. Right.
What
you like.
What I say goes.
You want that say.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I'm working on with them, being more open-minded and understanding, because I know that affected us, couldn't communicate how we feel and what we want to do. So that's one of the things that I have with them, open-minded and understanding. Not that gentle parenting, because we was just talking about that with my daughter. I was like, there's no such thing as gentle parenting. Like I'm not doing no gentle parenting, because then that's giving too much freedom for you to do, you know,
gentle parenting my ass.
Hi, Trey. Trey is now in the room. Hey, Trey.
I told Trey I was gentle parenting my ass. I said,
exactly.
You see how you kind of like crumple, like, oh wait, I'll have to say that.
Trey, clean your room up. Okay, Mom, I'll go back in there. Why the fuck are you still in there?
Exactly, because you try to be nice the first time, and it's like they don't listen the first time, so then you got to come back in there and be angry, like, what did I just tell you today?
I'll tell y'all one thing. I'll go finish it though, but once you finish it though, I'm gonna share one thing I did with my nephew when he was younger. And
I think we talked about this.
Yeah, we did, but go ahead, Lashae.
Hello, Rick Roll. Yo, how is he?
We'll talk about it later, but he all right. I talked to him yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
So another thing that
name Rick Roll.
My daughter about to go to high school.
Right.
So she's going to the same high school that I went to, and I know it's me. When at 16, I was pregnant with her, about to have her. So she like last week. She like, you need to trust me. I'm not going to be like you.
Hey yo.
Ooh.
First of all, shade, bitch.
I bet you was like, I bet you kind of record back like.
No, I didn't, because I know how I was. So, I don't want you, because she was like, I still want to, you got to let me be a teenager. And that's one thing that I feel like that's what made me do what I was doing, because one thing, I was out there looking for love. Not saying that my parents didn't give it to me, but that's where it falling with the communication again.
Oh, yeah,
you feel me? Yeah. And communication, that have a lot to do with love too. So if I can't communicate and open up to you, where you kind of like, where's the love?
You go search for it elsewhere.
Exactly. So that's one of the things I'm working on, just communicating trusting the children, and having an understanding.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Trying Jesus. Because when I was 14, I was fucking.
Oh, we know.
Right.
We know. So no, but back to what I was saying about my nephew. So this was maybe I want to say like 10 or 12 years ago. God.
Excuse me? No,
Yes, Trey. You are being recorded.
Right. No,
Trey.
he didn't say hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead and sip your tequila, Shauna, because you said that with your son being in the room.
I thought he went upstairs.
That was on you. No, he did.
Yeah,
no, so but this was like 10. This was like maybe 12 or 14 years ago. So back when I was in college, I still lived at home with my mom. My youngest nephew, who is 10 years younger than me, was at home, and I was at that point. I was again 10, 12 years ago. I was in my early to mid 20s.
Yeah.
I started buying my own food to keep in the house because I had stuff that I liked, and my mother was like, "Well, shit, you grown? Why am I cooking you food? You grown, buy your own stuff." I was like, "Okay, cool, no problem." So I remember went to Walmart. That was back when the Walmart in Randallstown first opened until 24 hours, and I got a box of like the family size pack of Hot Pockets. I was like, "Shit, I love Hot Pockets. I'm gonna fuck these Hot Pockets up."
Right.
Pepperoni and cheese, bro.
No, it was
like
the ham and
ham and
cheese.
cheese.
Ham and cheese, the OG ham and cheese. So I bought the box. I was like, cool. They in the freezer. They will chill. When I'm in the mood for one, I'll get one.
Right.
They were in there for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And of course, me working in school, I didn't get to them. So one day I was like, I want a Hot Pocket. So I go in the freezer, open the freezer.
They was gone.
It was 2 left in the box out of 12. I was like,
Shit.
I was like,
I ain't eat 1 or 2, G.
I was like,
Ate the whole box.
so I opened the freezer, was confused. I said, hold on, close the freezer. I closed the freezer, walked away, stood in the corner by the front door for a couple seconds, and then went back.
You thought you was saying shit?
Right. I opened the door again. I was like,
Sorry, y'all.
I was like, okay, so it was just me, my mother, and my nephew in the house.
Hey, yo, he called us, yo.
My mother, I work hard. My mother was in the bed. This was like 10:30 at night on like a Friday night, so she was asleep when my mother went to bed. Like most of our parents, they be in bed like 6, 7 o'clock on
I'm
the evening.
tired.
So I woke up. I said, "Ma." She was like, "Shit, what the fuck? What's wrong? What's on fire?" I said, "Nothing. Did you eat my Hot Pockets, motherfucker? I don't eat no goddamn Hot Pockets."
Oh my God, I missed that lady, man. Oh, I missed
So
her.
I said, "Okay, process of elimination." I said, and I was like, "I know I didn't eat them." This evil person, I was about to say heifer, but no, because don't strike me down. Hey, man, I love you.
Baby, you gonna wake up, she gonna be at the bottom of your bed like,
What you call me?
Right.
So it wasn't her. It wasn't
heard
me.
your little podcast.
Right. Ain't no right. Coming to me in a dream. I heard your little raggedy ass podcast. Mm-hmm.
Not I heard your little bro.
So process of elimination. My nephew, I went in his
mother
room.
would do that to us.
Right. He was in there playing
You was
Xbox.
co-signing.
Right.
Damn, this nigga said Xbox.
He was playing
That's
Xbox.
how old it was.
It was dead. It was the OG Xbox.
Oh,
so he was
shit.
in there playing some game. I said, "Did you eat my Hot Pockets?" No, I ain't touched them Hot Pockets. He didn't even look up. He ain't paying them. He was like 12 or 13 at the time. I said, "Okay. All right." I said, "You sure you ain't touch my Hot Pockets?" No, I ain't eat them Hot Pockets, man. Why you keep asking me? I said, "Okay. So my mother had this was right before school started. So she had just bought him school clothes and he had everything laid out because he thought he was being fresh for the first day of school. So I said, "You ain't eat my Hot Pockets?" I asked him third time. He said, "No, man, I ain't eat your Hot Pockets." I said, "Okay, bet." So I went downstairs where he had his stuff laid out. I grabbed the box of shoes, put the shoes back in the box. I was being loud.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Pushed all the shit off the table, grabbed the stuff. He came downstairs and was like, "What you touching my stuff for?" I said, "Nigga, you ate my Hot Pockets. There's only 3 of us in here. I didn't eat them. Your grandmother didn't eat them. Unless it's a ghost named Casper living in the walls eating shit out the freezer.
Right.
It's you."
Right.
So I said, "When you run me my money for my Hot Pockets, when you give me my $12 for this box, I give you your shoes back."
Damn.
At this point, my mother was like, "What the fuck y'all down here doing?" She argued. She come downstairs. He got tears in his eyes. "He stole my shoes. He took my shoes." My mother was like, "Well, you ate his food. What you expect?"
Right.
I said, "Well, give me money to replace the box of Hot Pockets you stole. Well, you took because they wasn't yours to take. You can take them last 2. I'll give me a new box and I'll give you your shoes back." "No, because you took my Hot Pockets." And he was crying. He said, "I'm gonna stab you." I said, "Oh, are you?"
Yo, why
My
is
mother, when he said that, she jumped in between us. He said, "No." I said, "Move." I took the arm and slid my mother out the way. She was like, "Oh shit." I stood in front.
how big your ass was.
My mother's 5'2". I was grown, so I was 6'3" at the time. I moved her out the way with the strong arm. I said, "Get the knife, bitch." And I stood there in front of his face, eye to eye, and looked at him. "Get the knife."
Not get the knife, bitch.
Looked at him. And he was standing, And he walked away. And I made sure I had that bat next to my bed just in case he tried to get me when I was asleep because I didn't trust his little ass.
It was at that moment he knew he fucked up.
But after that, my mother was like, Brandon, you know, he ain't got no...
Since we was in like 6th grade, yo.
Girl, fuck you. He ain't got no damn money, but shit, take this goddamn $12 and give him the shoes back. I said, all right, thank you, Mom. And he got his shoes back. Well, I tossed them in the room at his head, but I missed on purpose. And
missed on purpose my ass.
Accidentally on purpose.
He looked at me, he sat at me for like 3 weeks. He said, bitch, you shouldn't stole my goddamn food. And I said, it's better I teach you that lesson. There's some nigga in the street that would try to kill your ass.
It was the principle of the situation. It's principalities to this, my nigga.
Like I said, she stepped in. I said, no. Y'all baby him. Y'all let him get away with bloody murder. Move out the way. Let me handle this.
Right.
No, I kind of do the like growing up, like my mother, she would ask niggas how they felt. And it's like, you know, she looked at, I remember she looked at my little brother and like, you mad? He was like, yeah. She was like, okay, you can be mad. I mean, my answer, like, my decision is still my decision.
Right.
You can go in the room and work that out. But she acknowledged that, you know,
he was mad.
We were like, he was upset.
Right.
Now, my stepfather, on the other hand, at the time, he felt some kind of way about it because it's like, why you ask him, is he mad? She's like, because he a human being. He has feelings. Don't mean, you know, it ain't gonna change my motherfucking mind about the situation. Like, but you can go about your business. You know what I mean? You go in the room and you work that out. And I find myself doing that now to my students. Like, yo, if one kid hit another kid, and I'm like, yo, why'd you hit him? And they explain the situation. I was like, all right, you still going to cozy. Right. Like we can't call it timeout no more. So we put them in the cozy corner, cozy space.
That's that general parenting bullshit.
Right. Nah, but
So these kids are like what, 4, 5, 6?
The kids that I deal with, day 3 and 4.
Oh,
okay. So you got pre-K.
So these are like
pre-K and pre-K.
Yeah, so
these are Generation Alpha. This ain't even Gen Z. This is Gen Alpha.
So you can't very well.
You
can't very well punt them kids like a football.
They really call the police on your ass.
You right.
But them big ass iPads.
Police. My mom told me to call 911. Right.
Yo.
When they get here, I'ma fling your little ass right out the window, you little bastard.
But the issue is, it's like, yo, we got young parents raising the younger kids, and they're spacing out. Like, they're telling their kids what we got told when we were kids. If somebody hit you, hit them back. However,
I told my kid, fuck a nigga. Oh.
But however, what the parents don't do is they don't tell the kid that, yo, you can't create the situation to get, for you to get hit. You can't antagonize somebody and then or be in somebody's face.
You can't tell that little boy his breath stinking and he swing on your ass, and then you act like you ain't did nothing.
So when I see a kid hit another kid, to separate them, and then it's like, yo, you going to cozy. Especially the one that that time that created the situation. It's like, nah, you go to cozy. And the issue is, like, they don't understand why they getting in trouble. And it's like, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you why you're in trouble.
But that goes back to it starting at home now.
You're wrong. Like, yo, you're wrong.
You can't reinforce but so much.
Right.
Like, I get what I understand what you did, but now it's like, yo, now it's like you trying to teach them personal responsibility.
Exactly.
If you get hit, you come and get me. And then we can handle the situation. Don't take it into your hands. Like, don't take it into your hands. Cause like when we were growing up, that's what we told. If somebody hit you, you hit their ass back.
Right.
Yep.
They hit you with a stick. You grab a brick. You know what I mean? Or
I was told to grab a bottle, the same shit.
Nah, I just called my cousins.
Or you get those parents that make you fight. You get those parents that make you fight. Take you to the kid house and then pull them out, and then it's like, now you fighting, your mother fighting.
Nigga, that was some toxic shit.
Right.
Because I seen plenty of them fights like across the street, like
nigga, we sitting watching YouTube on the TV with the blinds open, and then we see the niggas across the street fighting. Like they pull up. They pull up, hopped out the van.
Because I ain't never seen that many.
Where your mother? Go get your
of course,
mother.
y'all niggas was in the window like.
Oh no! I was like, no.
Man, because got plenty stories like that.
No, because it's like
ain't play about us.
But before we go into that, let's take our first commercial break, and we will be right back. All right, we back. Proceed, niggas.
But what I'm saying is, because it's like, yo, I'm looking like, because it's like we sitting there, we just talking, like we talking, and we saying, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Then it's like,
I was watching How to Make a Wig, and all I heard was, "Bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up." Wait a minute.
right, and it's like,
this Aaron's wife, Keita, in the background. Hey, Keita.
Hi.
but we sitting there like, the fuck is
Listen,
going
I
on
got
here?
but 2 sister-in-laws I like. She one of them.
But it's, I find myself.
Sheena the other one.
Yeah, but who else is married?
That's it.
I'm like, I thought it was more than 2.
Well, no, they get married next year. Sheena and
Right.
But
I'm
I mean,
like, 2.
but I said
I'm in the wedding.
that my mother. I believe that my mother tried, and then how she raised us, it's like I take some of the things, and I try to apply it to when I'm like to my class. Like I try to apply it to the students now and to the students in my class.
So
like,
before you did it, let me ask you this because you actually led that basically right into my next question.
okay, cool.
So, Shauna, well, actually, no, I didn't ask Shauna the question. So, what things have you noticed from what you've grown up as far as generational trauma and the way you handle things? What have you noticed in Trey from, I guess, you and Lashae's childhood? Like the way he processes things or his responses to things?
So I'm gonna share this story because it really made me realize some stuff. So Trey started high school this year. I know. My baby's going to 10th grade.
Oh, you old bitch.
Fuck you. The long way. Anyway, he struggled. He got into a college prep program.
Good.
So to go from middle school to go to not only high school work, but then college work at the same time. It was a struggle for him. And I found myself getting frustrated because I maybe I'm biased, but my son is smart. He always been smart. He did everything early. He was crawling early. He was walking early. He was talking early. He did everything early, right? Brandon's so dumb. He did everything early.
It's
so
all for the ASMR
I know how
fans.
smart my kid is, and I felt like he just wasn't giving his all. He wasn't giving the effort he needed to. But I had to take a step back, thanks to shout out to Mrs. Howard. She helped me work through this. And realized that something else was going on. So one of my good girlfriends, her dude works at trade school. And me and him had a conversation, and he said to me, Shauna, you need to sit Trey down and have a conversation with him. He said, because there's some stuff you keep telling him he can come talk to you, he can come talk to you, let you know what's going on, this, and this, right? He said, but speaking from a man's perspective, he has to feel safe coming to you.
Yeah.
He said, no, what you need, that you got to ask the right questions. So he said, what you need to do is have a conversation with Trey, and you need to say to him, do you feel like I provide a safe space for you to come to me and talk to me, even though I'm constantly saying, Trey, come talk to me. I got your back. I'm here for you.
Right.
So me and Trey, his father came over one day. Me and Trey had to call. I said to him, do you feel like I provide a safe space for you to come talk to me? And my homegirl dude told me, you got to be prepared for the answer.
Yeah, man.
Trey said, looked me in my face and said, no. I said, why? He said, because I'm afraid of your reaction.
Yeah,
baby, that shit broke me down like a fraction. I swear to God. I ugly cried, nigga. Viola Davis snot bubble cried. I was like, what? Because I'm thinking like I always got your back. What do you mean? But I had to sit back and look, reevaluate of my reaction.
Right.
When he comes to me with stuff. But I've always told him, like, I'd rather you come tell me the truth than for you to lie to me and then I find out the truth later because you're going to get in more trouble. But once we had that conversation,
it changed your perspective.
It changed my perspective, and now I think before I react.
Right, or more open minded.
Yeah. So now I'm saying, Trey, I can't help you if you ain't helping yourself. I don't know I don't go to school with you every day. I'm in school my goddamn self, and I'm working full time, and I'm taking care of your ass. So I don't know what's going on daily. All I know is I'm getting these reports from school, and you ain't turning your work in, or you not doing this, or you not doing that. And I know what he's capable of.
Right.
The first 2 semesters last year, baby, woo God. They was rough, but I knew he knew the work because once he started going to like
coach class,
and tutoring and stuff, fucking grades went from fucking D's and C's to A's and B's.
Yeah.
So I know you capable of doing. You just needed the help, but I don't know you need the help if you ain't telling me.
Right.
I can't read minds. If I can read minds, we'd be fucking billionaires right now.
But I think that also.
So that's what it was. I feel like with my son, I'm giving him the opportunity to tell me Mom, I don't understand. Mom, I don't get it. And I'm listening to him. I didn't feel like I got there all the time.
I don't think any of us
from certain people. Like, okay,
do
like,
it.
I constantly talk about my Aunt Ruth, right? And Lashae can testify to this. Aunt Ruth is the aunt of all aunts. Like, she don't judge you. She don't judge you. And the one thing she's always told us, me, Lashae, her daughter, a year apart, that's my sister cousin. We grew up together. So, like, she always tell us, I'd rather y'all come to me and tell me something and we can figure this out and don't go sneaky and be like this. She trying to break generation curses. She trying to do for us what wasn't done for her.
What she
and
wanted to be done for her.
And maybe Lashae's grandmother, Lashae's mother, you know, that generation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying, me and Lashae, I guess I can speak for Lashae with this. We're trying to do for our children what we felt like wasn't done for us.
That's right.
So you brought up an interesting part, and I don't think you might have realized this. And there's a difference in communication styles that men and women or boys and girls have that we may not even be aware of, because you say something one way, but because you say it that way, it doesn't register the same way. Like, for example, I saw this, it was a random video on TikTok, and this woman was talking about her kid, and they were in the kitchen, she was cooking, and she had like the pot, she just literally just pulled it off the stove, and she wanted her son to grab it from her. And she had the
I seen that.
She had the pot holders on the side of the pot.
She said, "No, it's hot.
It's hot." And he was standing there confused, like,
he trying to grab it from the bottom.
From the bottom, she said, "No, the pot is hot." And he's looking confused, like,
give me the pot.
But for him, he's thinking the pot is hot. Okay, so like, what do I do? But for a lot of people, and
you have to go step by step.
You have to be direct and say, tell them exactly what you want them to do.
You know who I learned it from? Not only I learned it from Trey, because Trey's in therapy too. Because I took them steps to get him separate therapy.
Yeah,
me too.
Right,
with my
and
children.
his therapist, I had a conversation with her, and she said because of his ADHD and stuff like that, you have to be direct.
Be direct and say exactly what you want.
And it get frustrating sometimes. It does, but you have to get them direct. Like, Trey, all right, go in here and pick this up, and then come back and pick this up. And I went so far as she had me make a list for Trey, like with his morning routine, because he's a teenager. You know, teenagers funky. They don't want to take showers and baths and shit like that.
I remember them days.
And so I made a list for Trey and posted it on his wall. His morning routine, his evening routine.
That's right.
Get up. Don't touch the phone.
Right.
Sitting in front of the computer and shit.
Right.
Get dressed. Don't touch the phone.
Right.
Come in there and say, I'm getting on the bus. Don't turn the TV on. Like, I had to make a specific list for him.
Right. So,
like, it's posted next to his TV. Like, one night I went in the room while he was sleeping, put it on the TV. So when he woke up in the morning, he was going to see that shit. He came in the room and was like, really, Mom? That's really my nigga, because you're not listening.
Yeah, right.
You're not listening.
When I was like 11,
it becomes frustrating, especially when you're the primary parent.
Right. And you have to do the majority
and Trey's
of the
father is involved in his life. I'll give him that credit. He is involved in his life. He has a father. He's involved in his life. But I'm the primary parent. He lives with me. He's here with me.
Right.
So a lot of the stuff falls on my shoulders, and I find myself getting frustrated. You know, you don't have to deal with this one. You got them on the weekends or every other weekend or whatever weekend come over, or during spring break or during Christmas break or whatever. But the other 360 days of the year, all of this stuff is on me. They don't call you when he fucking up in school. They call me because I'm the first person on the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So once I created that list, he's sticking to it to a certain extent. But every now and then I gotta reiterate. I got 3 alarms set on my phone. Trey wake up alarm. Let me check on Trey and make sure his ass is dressed, not sitting on the bed playing Roblox alarm. And Trey is 6:55. Get the fuck out the house. The bus is coming along.
That's right.
Not gonna hold you though, but I'm kind of like I've been like kind of like programmed to have a routine, or if you need me to do something, ask me, like, you know, you got to tell me exactly.
Don't wait till the night before your reporters do or your projects do. Say, I need help with them.
Baby, I'm going to talk about that. I'm traumatized. Tell me you need to glue stick. You
that one right there.
Glue stick 3 days ago.
Well, you got the paper from your teacher last week.
Right.
I said, Trey, when you get this paperwork?
2 weeks ago.
The other day.
When does it due? Tomorrow morning.
You know what I've learned to do when it comes to Trey? I have to go in the room and reset, because I'll react right away and I'm screaming, hollering. Now I got a fucking headache.
Nigga. My mother used to go through my book bag. Bring me your book bag.
I do that now too. And I thought that would end when he got to... No, I thought that shit ended when he got to high school. No, ma'am.
No,
ma'am.
Bring me your book bag.
Some kids need that on.
And I have to remember
24-hour.
Being a parent with ADHD, raising a child with ADHD, baby.
It don't take much to distract them.
Oh my God. At all. Because I'm distracted.
It's like homework.
TV.
Right. Or something
Hey, mom, I got a joke for you. Joke your ass back in the computer. Right, fuck on my face.
Oh, but that's what it is.
No, it's a lot.
So, okay, so let's go to the next question. Because I don't want us to have another 4-part episode because we only like 2 questions in and I got a whole list of stuff and a whole separate section.
It'll get us through the rest of the year. That's all I'm saying.
Shut the fuck up.
While you playing, I mean, it actually will. Yeah, I mean, it will. This might end up being a 2-part episode depending on how long
we
we
just had a 2-parter.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt and that's a hat.
So, all right. So, okay, I answered that question. Okay, so this is a question I guess is just for Lashae and Shauna, because y'all have kids and me and Aaron don't. Mm-hmm. So as you and the kids have gotten older, and you've kind of sort of answered this in a sense, but how have your parenting styles changed from the way you relate to them, the way you talk to them, from when they were super young, when you were young, you had your first kid, to now as they're older, you're more mature, you have more life experience. How has your parenting style changed?
I'm working on more open-minded.
Yeah.
Trying to be more open-minded and understanding, because once again we didn't get that. Like we didn't have that.
Oh no.
So like just trying to be more open-minded, being understanding, like how Shauna was saying about Trey coming to you.
Yeah.
Because when Carrington, she had a little experience when she was going through her situation with
I'm a care bear.
Right, with doing depression and all that. And I didn't know that until she came to me. And when she came to me about going to therapy, and I'm like, she
asked you?
So she asked you to go to therapy?
She asked me to go to therapy.
Wow. I love that.
And
okay.
as the parent, I felt some type of way. What you want to go to therapy for? Why you can't talk to me about it? Like, why you can't open up to me and talk to me about it? And I even had to go to, it was a lot of people.
What I learned about that is, as somebody in therapy, a therapist is a non-biased person.
Right.
At the end of the day, yeah, you're my mother. You won't have my back. But a therapist,
you're
Trey
still
talk
you.
to his therapist about that. He don't talk to me about. And like at the end of his sessions, she'll be like, "Okay, Trey, let's talk. You want to talk to your mom about what we talked about?" And I know he don't tell me everything, and that's fine. He has the right to his privacy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I love that shit that she came
at that
to
age.
you.
Yeah.
Privacy in my house where I pay bills.
No,
you don't get no privacy.
No, I thought I had like I thought I no.
The nigga said he thought.
No, but I'm
Baby,
saying
I know your mama.
No.
Hey,
I thought that I had somebody that I could talk to, right? And it was my stepfather, because he was a man and I was a young man, so just like he came at me and he was like, "Yo, I understand that you might not be able to talk to your mother, like is it hard?" Like, and I told him it was hard to talk to her. And then we had we went on the drive and shit, went to McDonald's and shit, and we was talking. Then I get back,
Did
I
you
get
feel
back
like
in
you
the
had a
house.
good relationship with him outside of?
So I'm getting to that.
Okay.
But finish your thoughts.
So at that point, it's like, yo, I thought this nigga was cool, right? Then like a couple days later, my mother come downstairs like, "Oh, so you find it hard to talk to me?" And it's like, you motherfucker. Like after that, it's like, yo, after
So you
that,
betrayed your trust.
I stopped talking. I stopped talking to the nigga, and it's like ended up talking to y'all niggas. Yeah. Like, like late night, like long drives and shit. We just politicking, or we downtown talking.
That's
because
one thing I missed that we used to do when we were in our 20s. We would just get in the car
Ooh,
and
before we had responsibilities.
Child, Dante would be in the car in his car seat sleep. It'd be us in the car, we're listening to all types of music from all different genres, driving to any and everywhere.
But it was just the fact that it's like, yo, I'm sitting here, you telling me I can talk to you, and then it's like, yo, I'm trusting that I can talk to you.
Right.
And then you turn around, you go and tell my mother exactly like what we just talked about. Now, not necessarily understanding marriage.
Right.
And knowing that, like realizing that might have just been pillow talk. And it's like, yo, even if, all right, so you told my mother what I said. At that time, she might, and I understand that, yo, she might have been hurt about it. Like, as Shauna was when Trey told him that it was hard to talk to her. But it's like, nigga, you could have hid that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it said something like, yo, he don't want me to tell you, he don't necessarily want me to tell you, like when you talk to him, try not to say nothing.
Right.
But after that, it was like, I ain't fucking with it. You know what I'm saying?
And with that, since Chase is walking, we're going to take another commercial break and we will be right back. All right, so we are back from that commercial break, and I think this is a good spot to actually end this episode because this is a long one.
Yeah,
and we got another 2-part. I didn't think we do another 2-part of that soon.
Yeah,
but we're gonna end the episode here. So if you have any questions for us, feel free to shoot us an email at askwandapod@gmail.com. That's ASKWANDAPOD@gmail.com. Also, find us on Instagram and on Twitter at AskWandaPod_ and on Facebook at Wine and Audacity, the podcast. I still have not decided if I wanted to start a Threads account or a Spill account because who the fuck else could be managing them social media accounts but me? Unless you want to take it over, Aaron.
Which one? I mean, Threads,
all of them.
Threads maybe. I don't want to do none of this shit. I signed up for the beta test for Spill, but you know what I'm saying, they ain't get back to me yet.
I have Spill.
No, but it's right now it's only
for Android.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank y'all for listening. We love y'all, and we will be back next week with an all new episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.